The Minecraft movie teaser, the seeming sensation that has swept over the internet. I want to see. I want to see what we're in for. I hate it.
What the hell?
Honestly, my actually relatable reaction. What in Zine talk is that?
Anything you can dream about here, you can make.
Who are you?
I am Steve.
Unironically, I think he's the best pick for that, actually. Like look at Steve and then look at his physique. It honestly, physically, I think it matches. I think he has the personality as well.
Okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
I'm too boomer enough. I don't even know what she just said. Haha, you see, it's funny because the funny looking llama was chewing. It was chewing, and then the arrow, and then what, and then the freeze frame, and then the piglins. It's funny, chat. There, yep.
Right this way.
Okay. So I have to process what I just saw. I think that. So the biggest question I have to ask is, who is this marketed for? What is their target audience? What is their target demographic? I mean, to be fair, Jack Black and me is not necessarily a fair question, because I remember Jack Black with his work with Kyle Gass in Pick a Destiny, okay? Like, that movie is actually life-changing. Like, it is amazing. Kind of like Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Kip, you haven't seen Scarface, but you've seen Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas? What is wrong with you? I get that question a lot, actually, and I don't actually have an answer to that. So, I think that what they did here... We're going to turn down the volume. So, I think what they did here was cool, right? You kind of have this single pixel, this green pixel, kind of reminiscent of a grass block, right? This kind of singularity, if you will. And then it starts expanding. You kind of got your pixelated water, and it expands into what we have, right? I think it's a really cool time-lapse kind of thing, right? I think it's really cool. I mean, right off the bat, the houses actually look a little off. The one under my face, very specifically, that's the wrong one. If you look under where my face is, like where my mouth was, the house... Yes, you can see little blocks, and it's technically smaller blocks. I don't know. It seems like there's a little bit of mishmash here. Good establishing shot of just Minecraft arch and city built around it. Looks like we got chimneys and stuff going on. Some semblance of modern society, some semblance of modernity. I like what they're going for. Some of the stuff that people do in Minecraft blows my mind, okay? I just put on infinite blocks and I build really funny large stone structures like castles and stuff, or at least I attempt to. I built a duck tower once because there was a little balcony that made it look like a duck. It was great. Yet people can do magic with redstone. It actually boggles me. Very cool, step out moment. Todd Howard invoked his name, right? Step out moment. You can see some of the blocks, some of the flowers and stuff, some of the trees. I think it's cool. I think that it has a very strong open, unironically. Now, you're going to get people that are going to argue certain things, like, oh, well, we have, I don't know, is that Jason? I don't know who this is in the back left. I guess people have put his appearance under fire. Are you, the confidence that it takes to wear a pink jacket? I would, chat, if I could, okay? My goal is some kind of actually, black jacket, but it has RuneScape armor trimming. You know how that looks like the trim? The trim of the jacket is bright neon pink. That is goals, because black and pink go very hard together. I actually dig it. I feel like all ages are represented here. You have kid for forefront. You're going to have some of the old guard, potentially even by back left, back right, which my model is covering. I mean, you definitely know people are going to get mad about some sort of inclusion. Look, I don't care. It doesn't detract from the work. Like, let's be reasonable and rational adults here. Like, I don't really see a problem with this in any capacity. I hate that though. I hate it. I objectively hate the blending of realism. Like, but you look at this, and I think it's made to be foreign. I think it's made to be gross in a way, right? Because it's supposed to be different, right? I mean, look at the teeth on this thing. I mean, like, why are they modeled to the degree that they are? And that's the question. Like, why are the teeth modeled the way that they are? You notice its animation cycle. Well, this is kind of okay, right? But you see some of the spit and some of the drool coming out. It's going cross-eyed. I mean, you know, kind of, I guess, similar to the actual in-game models, which is really cool in regards to, you know, referencing the source material and stuff. But when I look at this, immediately I'm kind of repulsed. But maybe that's the point, right? From an artistic standpoint, it could be made to be repulsive. It could be from the aspect of, like we're going to see, right? Like they follow up with, what the hell? Stephen He meme status, right? Like, it looks like, I guess we got the Tesseract in there. I can't wait for Minecraft to come into the Avengers. It's gonna be great, dude. We're gonna have Red Skull come back. Okay, he's really sad from losing the Spirit Stone, right? Because he was supposed to use guarding it, right? And now he's gonna take the Tesseract again. Look, I don't follow Marvel movies. I haven't for years. I just shitpost. But like, I mean, but you have to, like, the intent here, right? This is offensive to me. I hate it. I hate everything about this. But I also kind of love it because this is an easy setup for a story element of just like, what is that? Piglins, I mean, yeah, I mean, that makes sense. Ghasts, I think people were commenting on them in some capacity. I don't know enough about it. I don't ever actually play Minecraft. But this is definitely a large scale project. This is definitely a product with money and time invested into. I would assume shareholder interest. I do counter with, I feel this movie would have been better, like, what, 10 years ago? 5 years ago. I feel like this movie would have been a lot more of a banger, especially, you know, me going to high school back 2010, 2013 or so. And, you know, people were having flash drives that they were playing Minecraft on school computers with, you know, stuff like that, right? And I feel that, like the Borderlands movie, it kind of missed its golden opportunity window. And that's the thing, right? Like, if I were to react to this, and already I'm reacting to this well past the date, in my opinion. If I were to react to this, and I were to do this, say, 4 weeks from now, say a month from now, is it necessarily going to be the prime time for it to come out? I would argue not. And that's actually a problem that I run into the React content that I do, because I do wait that 4 days. Unless it's some sort of response, unless it's some sort of, you know, additive thing to it, I always wait 96 hours until after the original video goes live. That's a respect thing to creators. That's making sure that I maintain my own personal ethics. And I've seen too many React channels just do day one, hour one reactions. And to me, I don't want to be that person, right? That's a me thing. That's a subjective thing. But I think that this really is kind of past its prime. I mean, cool moon thing. It almost looks like the animation with the wolf. It almost looks like the moon is inherently tied to either its eye or its nose. For a little bit of that. I mean, like, cool, yeah, funny scene, that's kind of awesome. That's really cool in terms of, like, things you can do. Yeah, we take these raw materials and we make it. Very referential to the game, obviously. I mean, like, I think it has a strong basis. I think it has a strong core. But once again, this is actually interesting because this is before Jack Black comes into the trailer. He's actually right under me. Bold move of them to kind of tease that. It's kind of like how in the Naruto anime, there was a little panel or something. I think it was in the manga too, when Madara Uchiha proper shows up, Edo Madara, to just kick the crap out of the Shinobi Force. There's a brief scene where he's about to eat a Rasen Shuriken, but his eyes turn into a Renegon. And there's a couple scenes like that where it telegraphs information like that, and I think it was an anime specific thing, but it telegraphs information that can, if you know what you're looking for, can potentially ruin the reveal. Bold move on them to include this as a scene before Jack Black's reveal, in my opinion. Showcasing grand scale of things, showcasing this is, you know, the wonder of the world, you know, power of the sun in the palm of my hand. I make way too many Spider-Man memes. Please help. It's actually a problem. I mean, it sets up more of the creatures, the piglins, sets up the creepers.
Who are you?
I am Steve.
I mean, minus the beard. Yeah, no, I mean that I don't see a problem with this. I mean, he's blocky enough as in stature that, I mean, I feel this is completely fair, right? I mean, I look at that and I'm like, yeah, I can agree it looks like Steve.
I
Whatever.
am Steve.
I like, and this is, I think, where the trailer starts to lose me, because this almost feels like this is marketed as like shock value for children. And don't get me wrong, there is the concept. I came across a video recently, I didn't watch it, but it's the title alone is true. Like, children are allowed to have media. Kids are allowed to have media, okay? We as adults, sure, we can take, what is it, Bluey's a very popular show as an adult. I think it's marketed as a kid's show, right? But like, you know, a lot of adults like, I'm not saying you can't inherently like that, right? There are kids that like more adult forms of media, right? And when I say adult forms of media, I'm specifically talking about movies, right? I mean, I'm sure your kid's gonna, you know, there are kids out there that will watch John Wick with, you know, you as a parent, right? But even then, you as a parent can go back and look at things like Rankin and Bass's, I think it was 1978, 77 or 79, I can't remember, their version of The Hobbit, right? I would argue that's clearly marketed at kids. Meanwhile, the Return of the King version, I think it was 81, that felt marketed more towards people like me, towards like adult nerds. Because there was a lot in there, including the Watchers of Minas Morgul. That had a lot of subtext, and I don't recommend watching that as your first Lord of the Rings foray. That's something that you kind of build up an understanding of the verse, and then you go into the Rankin and Bass Return of the King. Very ambitious for the time. However, I will still recommend, especially for your first viewing, generally the Peter Jackson trilogy, especially the extended version of it. I digress. Getting back to the subject at hand, I feel like I just kind of, it loses me here. I feel like it loses the plot. It feels like going about 50 seconds in, the momentum is kind of spent itself. It kind of exhausted itself. Right here, if it kind of ended on a different note, I think this would be a great end of the trailer. Cut to, you know, coming April 4th in IMAX, right?
Okay.
This guy is such a tool bag.
Yeah. I mean, even then, you can start to see it kind of ending up here, which that's just kind of the flow of things. It's such a miss for me. Like, I understand the joke here. I understand why it's supposed to make you chuckle. I feel like it misses, though. And this is one of those that I would actually be very interested in an artist's point of view. For why that specifically fails, for why it falls flat, why the joke, it's primed to be funny, but much like a firing pin hitting a primer and the primer being a dud, right? It doesn't go off, nothing happens there, to which then you have to actually, you know, clear it out of the chamber, because that's a no bueno situation right there, chat. So I don't know. I'm kind of mixed on it, you know, as someone who I feel is incredibly open-minded. I wasn't sold a product here today. I'll probably just wait for the reviews. At the end of the day, I am an consumer, if you will. I wish to consume product, but you got to sell me a product, right? You gotta show me the money. Well, not really. You have to sell me a product. I don't feel like I'm necessarily sold on this. And I like characters like Jack Black. Like I've liked him for a number of years. I hear that he's being incredibly vocal right now in regards to what I hear allegedly calling out a small toxic minority, and Warner Brothers catering to a small toxic minority. I'm not here to speak on that. That's really what I've heard in the past day or so. But I mean, what are your thoughts? Do you think that it's we're kind of in the same vein in this. Do you think that some of the jokes, while primed to be funny, do you think that they just unfortunately fall flat? Does this, do you as a Minecraft fan out there, do you as not a Minecraft fan out there, do you look at this and you just ask, who is this being marketed to? That's my question, is I want to understand who this is being marketed to. I don't understand who the target demographic is. It feels like we're trying to appeal to all ages, but I think in doing that, we become so homogenized and so spread out that much like the big break in cosmology. Man, true cosmic horror is actually true horror, that finality of that. Much as in there's theories that, due to dark energy, constant expansion of the universe, eventually things will just break down, kind of Thanos decay into everything, right? Decay into particles, and every particle will have an infinity between each other, and thus leading to effectively a dead space, no pun intended. I guess pun intended, technically. You become just so homogenized that it's hard to really pin down certain things, right? And that's what I think it is. I feel like it's a homogenized experience. If this was marketed to strictly kids, I feel this would be cool. I feel this would be great. And, maybe I'm missing the point here. Maybe the kids of today want stuff like this. If this was marketed towards my kind of audience, I mean, I feel like there's enough here that's kind of a miss for someone in my age demographic. I'm going to have trouble finding a single friend that I know who's going to probably say, oh yeah, no, this movie looks actually like a banger. I think, unfortunately, this is a little bit of a miss. I will pass. I'll wait for the reviews. I'm actually kind of interested on the Angry Joe review on this, actually, if he does do it. His angry reviews are generally pretty cool. Yeah, and that's kind of all I got. See you in the next one.